Jai Gurudev, everybody. Hope you have had a wonderful weekend and enjoying still the company of your family and your dear one. And yeah. So interestingly, today I had a talk with Swamini Pragatishwari and my cousin, so we were talking. And as we were talking, I said, okay, they were saying, oh, the satsang is very interesting, so you have to prepare it. Then I was saying to them, actually, you see, I don't prepare any satsang. The satsang, even the question, I don't even know which question will be given, because the question is sent to Swami Revati and he chooses whatever question the people send, and he don't give me the question before, but I prepare, then I come and tell you. No, it is like all the satsang everywhere. It is just whatever flow, it just flow. And interestingly also I wanted to say to all of you, look, there's many questions that come, and some of the question is a bit strange. So if you don't have good question, don't write. If you have something important to ask, not personal, then you can write. The question. Because you see, you have so many questions. People ask, oh, I was walking in a dream and I fell down. What it is, Swamiji? Oh, my dog was barking so loud and I could not say, why is the dog barking? How will I answer all this question? Like yesterday also you have seen that some people ask a question, do you like to be alone? This is your personal thing, just be alone, So please, if you have really some question which is important, then you write, And as one person wrote a question, Swamiji, I don't have any question. Why is that? What can I answer about that, So it's good for you. So, if I will ask Swami Revati now to bring all these kind of questions, I tell you something, we can make a very funny video on this kind of question. So, I will ask Hasi. Jai Gopal. Actually, he received the question and he knows the question. Before the satsang now, I don't know the question, which question you will have. That's why also sometimes I'm shocked with your question.
Jai Gurudev, when we look at the deep pain of being separate from our beloved Narayana, it seems that we have made a very big mistake long time ago and that we have fallen so far from him. What is the cause of this separation?
You see, yesterday we were talking, I said in chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, verse 64, how the mind get entangled. It is not that he's not with you. The essence of who you are itself is part of him. But because of your mind, think that I will find happiness into that reality, because this is the whole thing. People are always running behind happiness without even knowing what is true happiness. Because you see, we find something and we say, yes, I will be happy into that. It's like a boy in a school now seeing a girl, that boy starts to develop a certain feeling for that girl, not knowing whether the girl like him or not. That I like that. This is the object of my interest. So that person become the object of my happiness, saying, if I have her, I will be happy. So the mind, like I said yesterday, get attached to that. So when an attachment happens, desire start to increase into the mind. So that person become that object of desire. I must have that person. And then of course when that person, you don't get that person says, no, I'm not interested in you. Then your own delusion think that, yes, I am angry now with that person. So seeing that pattern, you see, people have attached their mind continuously of finding happiness. So in this life I have not have a good mother or good father or a good wife or husband. In next life maybe I will. So they already pre-plan the next life itself. Like that in life you already pre-plan your next life through your thoughts, you know. This is very important, to become watchful of what you are thinking. Because that thought, like Krishna said, you know, your thought is your best friend when it's controlled, and it is your worst enemy when it is not controlled. So being mindful of how you're thinking, because the thought is very creative. Whatever arises to your thoughts, that you're already creating it somewhere. So Bhagavan make it clear that this have been going on through lives until he remind you when you, like I have said it many times, he remind you when you are ready, but now you can handle me. Because you see, nobody can handle the Guru. You know, they think that yes, it is easy to handle the Guru. I have said it, it is very difficult. And to handle Srimad Narayana, the Guru prepared you for that. Because you see, people hear stories and they go into the fanciness of it and think, yes, it is as beautiful as that, you know. No. First you have to make yourself ready. You have to know him. Without knowing him, you can't really adventure into that. So, because of that, you see, throughout lives, you have created a certain reality for you. You have bathed yourself into Maya itself, thinking that, yes, I will be happy into this reality. That's what people always say to themselves. Yesterday's question said, why I'm not direct? Hey, I'm direct. I'm going to tell you, frankly, you want to attain Srimad Narayana? Let go of this world. Would you do it? No, you will not do it. Because your mind is fully attached to that reality. You know, and thinking that, yes, I will be happy if I just do a little bit of spirituality, if I do a little bit of japam, if I do a little bit of satsang, I will be happy. No, it is complete attachment to the lotus feet of Guru and God. That's what will give you Srimad Narayana. But the little, like you think that, yes, or if I do a little bit of this, whenever I have time, you know, I'm partially, you know, I'm weakened spirituality. Or right now is COVID-19 spirituality, but I will attain Srimad Narayana. No, it is not that easy. Because love, true love, doesn't awake just like that. Partial love for the material reality, yes, awake. But if you want to transcend this material reality, it will not awake just like that. Chapter 14, verse 19, Bhagavan Krishna said, you know, but the sages who have transcend the three gunas, who knows that everything here is governed by the agent of the three gunas, they don't adventure into that. They know me. They know that I am beyond the three gunas. And for them, they attain me. So here you see clearly that Bhagavan has said that those who have transcended the three gunas, those who knows that this reality will never make them happy. It may be beautiful, it may be not beautiful, it may be just neutral, but there is no real happiness. That what is your soul longing is not into this reality. It's beyond that. That's why he said, those who knows me. They know that I am the Lord, which is I am beyond that three gunas. They know my true aspect, the one which is indwelling inside of them. I am the core of who they are. So by knowing that I am the core of who they are, firstly, they come to the point of realizing themselves, that consciousness awake itself to another dimension. Not bound by, yes, I am happy now, or yes, let's do something to be happy. Our happiness is not running into the material feel of things to be happy, but running inwardly into the inner journey. When you sit in deep meditation, you see, who is witnessing your Atma? No? But who gives power to that Atma to witness everything? So the outside is governed by the law of the three gunas. Everything which is bound by limitation, you long for that, you will be unhappy. Because the object of your happiness is something. But Bhagavan is beyond, the thing. His glory, his name, his pastime, himself is not bound by the natural law of nature, because he controls nature. Try to understand that once your mind is fully absorbed in this reality, your mind itself transcends that normality of things. Automatically, you will start to detach yourself. Yes, detachment will happen. You will start to keep away from people which is not on the spiritual path, people which is not really engaging into service to the lotus feet of Srimad Narayana. So automatically you will start to divert yourself to a certain reality. So this is where sanghas is important. That make you strong. So that transform you. So that transformation itself, you start to have a different awareness. And once you have that awareness that, yes, this world will never make me happy. As much as I want to be happy, there will be always a flaw into it. And realizing that only true happiness is only when I dive and realize myself firstly. Now, once you realize yourself firstly, it's not finished, because very often people think that, yes, once I realize myself, that is the end. No, it is not the end. Realizing yourself as an individual Atma is just the beginning of this relationship towards Srimad Narayana, towards the Lord himself, So, it is through his grace, we have to attain that grace itself. So that's why Krishna said, those who come to that point of realizing that they will never find happiness into this outside reality, they should attach themselves to something which is not bound by this material field. Then Krishna said, I am the one which is not bound by this reality. Attaching yourself to me, you come to me. Attaching yourself to me, you start to transform, you start to have my color, like Mirabai said, drenched in the color of Giridhari, So I'm drenched in the color of Krishna. So when you drench in his color of Krishna, which color is Krishna? Dark blue, you also start to become like him. So meaning not only, I'm not talking about the outside, you drench in his divinity. You are completely submerged into his divinity. So like that, only when you realize that true happiness is not found within the realm of the three gunas, you have to ascend to the realm beyond the three gunas. So the realm beyond three gunas is the realm of Giridhari himself, So having that clearly installed within your heart, within your mind, how can the Lord not reveal himself? How can you not attain to him? You see, this is how easy it is. But yet, you see, because of the greediness, and the same thing, you see, Krishna said in chapter 16, verse 21, he said that that path, this is built, is governed by free, the pathway to hell, let's say, put it in that context, is paved by three things, which is desire firstly, anger, greed. I said, don't adventure into these three things. Here, we can say that it is a continuation of what in chapter 2 he said, what I was mentioning earlier. It is like a continuation. It's saying to you, be aware of that three things. And when you look at the world, in place of being aware of these three things, but people like to adventure into that. Again, he said, desire. Again, that word, desire. It is due to desire one is miserable and unhappy. It is due to the desire of this material world one doesn't realize that one have to attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So how many people, billions of people, are deluded within this context of desire? So it is due to desire that one become angry. Yesterday we were talking earlier, anger, where does anger lead you? Where anger blind you completely? Once you lose the capacity of discrimination, you're lost completely. So you can't see what is good and what is not good. So the same here, Bhagavan said, but greed. Let's say, greed is the same. Once one has something, even if one desire is fulfilled, okay? Material desire I'm talking about. So once the material desire is fulfilled, do you think it's finished? No. Let me have a little bit more. Now, when that little bit more, let me have a little bit more. Little bit more. Like that, you see. Due to greed, people destroyed this world. Due to greed, they don't feel enough. They think that whatever more money they will have, more gold they will have, more things they will have, that will make them happy. No, it will never make them happy. But because greed is again the source of perdition. That's why the next verse Bhagavan said, don't adventure. This is the pathway of darkness. Once you take this upon you, you will be doomed. But those who go beyond that, through their sadhana, through their chanting of God names, focusing, meditating upon His glory, let the mind make one life centered only around Him. One be free from that. One attain the feet of Srimad Narayana himself. So here you see, in one way, he continues to remind one of that. But how people will remember, continuously throughout lives, he manifests himself. He sends his messenger. He sends the sages, the saints, the gurus to remind people of that reality. But how many people understand that? But the only true reality is the feet of Srimad Narayana. And that's the only thing why you have been born here. Nothing else will really make you happy, because everything else will make you up and down. Happiness for one day, then next day, where is that happiness? It's gone. So be aware of that, It's not that it's not possible to attain the feet of Srimad Narayana, but you have to transform yourself. You have to really let go of something and increase something. See, it can't just say, okay, I finished with this world, I drop everything, I will renounce everything. No, this is not the time for that. You have to learn to transcend this material reality. Doesn't mean that the material reality is bad. No, He have given you, which means not to attach yourself to it. Don't become dependent to that. Don't make this the object that without this I can't live. Now, so you can see this is a good example right now during this coronavirus time. Many times people have said, I can't live without this and I can't live without that. I can't sit in my house. I can't live with my wife or husband or children. They will drive me crazy. But yet you have done it. So like that itself, you see, start to divert your mind, knowing that this reality will never make you happy. This reality will never free you. You know, that reality will bind you. To be free is to be in this reality. You don't need to change. You don't need to really let go of your family or anything. But let your mind be upon Him. You know, remember Him. Find times every day to do your sadhana. You know, right now every country is removing their lockdown. You know, so maybe you will not have time to do the japam. You know. Now because your reality will become again back to normality how it used to be before, you know. But please, you know, find time to remember the divine, you know. Find time to sit and meditate upon His glory. Find time to listen to satsang. Find time to do your spiritual sadhana. It's not that time is not there. It's just that you have to be disciplined about what you want. Once you are disciplined in what you want, everything will come back to you. Everything will flow with you. You know, because you see, before you will say, yes, I don't have time. No, you do have time. It's just what you prioritize about in your life that become your reality. You know, if you prioritize that this world will make you happy, that will become your reality. But that reality will drag you down here again and again. So your priority is the feet of Guru and God. You know, that priority is to serve Guru and God, you know, and they have to be in your mind the priority. And you can do whatever you want outside. You know, you can. It's not that you can't be happy with your family. No, be happy with your family. Bring that blessing to your family. You know, bring that remembrance. You know, knows that it is also inside of them. The Lord is sitting. You know, Krishna is sitting in your heart, and is sitting also in your child heart. Is also sitting in your husband heart, or everybody else who you meet. Remind yourself of that continuously. You will see that life will carry you in a completely and most beautiful way when you start to appreciate what life have given you. But if you don't appreciate, you know, what life have given you, and you want to let go, and then say, yes, I want to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, just like that. Yes, letting go, yes. But yet, if your mind is still running toward that, you have not let go. To find the Lord Himself in everything that you do. And really know that He is with you at all time. Just train the mind not to attach to that, to the things outside. You see, train your mind that this is not the object of my happiness. My object of my happiness is Giridhari, which is seated within each one. When I'm enjoying their presence, I'm enjoying the presence that He allowed me to enjoy. So, bearing in mind that when your mind have transcended, you become like the seers, you know, you become like the sages and saints. And this is a devotee, you know. Like it said in Bhagavad, you know, a devotee is the one that purified the world itself, you know. You know, the whole presence of a devotee bring peace, bring joy and happiness to others. So what you have inside of you is the reflection of Bhagwan Himself. And when He starts reflecting through you, yeah, you become a source of happiness. You become a source of liberation. You become a source of reminding what is life truly to others also. So the feet of the Lord start to reflect through you. Yeah. So the Lord Himself start to reflect through you. In Bhagavad itself, chapter Canto 9, chapter 9, verse 6, when Bhagirath wanted to bring Mother Ganga, to the earth, he did so much meditation. What did he do? He meditated to appeal, not firstly to free his ancestors, then to free the people. So then Ganges had one, Mother Ganga had one question. Said, okay, fine. You see, I will come to liberate mankind. I will come, descend to free mankind from their sin. But what will I do with the accumulated sin? How will I be free from this sin? And Bhagirath said, when you descend, of course, the accumulation of sins, but those great souls, who have attained the Lord, that the devotees, those pure devotees who reflect Bhagwan himself, when they take bath in you, they will purify you. So that what is said in the Bhagavad about a devotee itself, about those sages who, when they go into the Ganges, they purify. That's why you see Kumbh Mela, for example. Every 12 years you see, every year there is little Kumbh Melas, but when you see every 12 years when there's a Maha Kumbh Mela, you see millions of sages, everybody from every kind of tradition, culture, they come to take bath into the Ganges. So we have this gratitude to say thank you for what you have given us. You're here to liberate, to free many people from their sins, but we are here also to help you. So this is the reflection about what Bhagwan said, those who realize that my happiness is not there, but happiness is not into this material world. Happiness is to be found within yourself, something which is eternal inside. You become the source of happiness only for you, not only for yourself, but for others also. So, taking this, you see, you see clearly, in the canto of Bhagavad here, you see that how important it is, to transcend that mind which bind oneself to this reality. The saints, the sages are example of that. They are in this world, but their mind is not attached to this world. They live, they eat, they go to toilet, they do everything like normal people, but their mind is not attached. So it's not about these things outside. Everything you will live here. To realize when you have life itself, when life your heart is beating and life is inside of you, but you must attain, you have to do everything to attain to the feet of Srimad Narayana. And of course the Guru is there to push you, to help you. You are not alone on this way. So that's why it is. He have made it in that way out of his mercy. I was reading a book earlier where Srimad Narayana was saying, I've been reminding them, but they forget very quickly. This is a state of human being, So that's why continuously gurus have to come, sages have to come, incarnation have to happen as a reminder. Of course, some people will listen to and some people will not. We don't expect, but that grace is given. Maybe if you don't attain to the feet of Srimad Narayana, you don't completely, purified yourself. But there is a better life in your next life when you come back. You will be born in a devotee family itself, where continuously we are reminded of the name of God and how to attain Him.
Dear Guruji, do we create or burn karma in our dreams?
The dreaming state. Actually, the dreaming state, like yesterday we were talking about King Janak. I was telling a story of King Janak, where he see himself, he wake up and he didn't know which one is the reality. So, in the dream, everything appeared to be real. Yes or no? It's yes, because you are in that dream. So, in a dream state, also karma can be created. So I'm not saying that it is creating, but it can be created, because you have to be in the dream is also a reality which you are living. So that's why who is experiencing that dream? It is the witness which is witnessing. So there is certain karma being created. Very often people think that yes, dream, because it is a dream, no, there is no karmic things. I have explained few weeks ago about dream. There is certain dream, you are aware what you are doing, because it is not you as the mind or intellect. It is you as the Atma, the consciousness. So the consciousness, when it is doing something in the dream, it is witnessing everything as being real, as here. So for the consciousness, this is also like a dream. When you come to the point of awakening, through enlightenment, when you awake, for self-realization, when that dreaming reality, this reality is put aside, I say, you awake in another spheres of reality. But you realize that also this is a dreaming state. You have been dreaming. You have been in a state of dormant. Your Atma have been in a state of longing for Bhagwan, but in a state of your mind and intellect have covered it. So that state of dormant, when this is awakened, when you have gone out from that delusion, then the reality start to reveal itself. So in the dreaming state also, there is karma being created, and there is also karma being finished also. So both ways happen also in the dreaming state. Because even this reality, you are still in a dreaming state also, until you awake in God consciousness or in self-realization, whatever name you put to it, So,
Jai Gurudev, are all the souls identical, differing only in the accumulated experiences, or is there an intrinsic difference between the souls?
well, the souls in itself, in the deepness of the soul, yes, every soul have a certain commonness, But every soul is bound by also a certain duty. It's like inside of your body itself, okay? The brain cell and your blood cell, they may look the same, but they have a different dharma to do. So like that, you have different kind of bones inside. You can say, yes, they are bones, but each bones have a different function. So also, the Atma itself, you see, they look alike, because this is what it is said in scriptures, that once you attain your spiritual body. So what is your spiritual body? Your spiritual body is the form of Vishnu. So once you attain your spiritual body, they all look similar, but the function is different. So like that, you see, souls you can perceive a certain commonness, and also you can perceive a certain difference in it. And of course, what you said earlier is about the coverage, of karmic things. Of course, karma is something separate from your Atma, because your Atma is here, to remove all these things, to finish with this, So once this is finished, you perceive your spiritual self, That the spiritual self is the same. So firstly, what people perceived is that inner light, the light of the consciousness. So from that light of consciousness, when one attained to God realization, then you see Srimad Narayana sitting inside of you. So from that, you attain your spiritual body. And of course your spiritual body, like I said, it have a different purpose for each one. So like that, you can serve him. If everybody have the same purpose, how can you serve him? You would not serve him. So to have a certain, like we say, we stay always as a servant to him. So to have this state of servitude unto him, of course, you have to be different from him. So like that, you can build also your relationship carries on. It's not finished.
Guruji, I want to serve as much as possible. At the same time, I am aware of my pride. Should I try to overcome this ego first before taking up lots of service opportunities?
No, my dear. If you want to serve, and if you realize that you have pride, serve. Don't stop serving. People don't realize, the gratitude that they have. They always wait till the last moment to be, to have this gratitude. What life? If you have that opportunity, like I said, do everything in this life when you have life itself. Don't wait for tomorrow when life is departing from you. Don't expect that when you died, then you will attain, you will start to do your spiritual sadhana. No, this will never happen. Once you died, finish. You can't do your spiritual sadhana in the other side. That's why you incarnate here, to do your spiritual sadhana. So if you perceive that whatever you do, you still have pride, keep doing your service. Even doing service with pride, doing your puja with pride is good. That will purify you. And that will make you have this gratitude for what life have given you, for what God have given you in your life. And that comes with effort. Because without effort, you just sit there idly, okay, I will not serve right now because I have ego. I am full of ego. I will stop my serving. Then you are so dumb. The worst of yourself, the worst kind you are. So sitting there idly and thinking, yes, how egoistic I am, then not doing service, not doing your sadhana, all this, they will not lead you anywhere. You will become a waste. Your life itself will become wasteful. So don't be lazy. Do carry on, even if you see that you're proud. Like I said, it's nice that you perceive that you have that pride and ego. It's good firstly because many people who is so egoistic, they don't even perceive that. Because you perceive it, you're on the good way. So for you to ask this question, you're on the good way. So keep doing your sadhana. I was going to say I will tell a story, but there is this beautiful story about an old man was going to die, and of course he made his will. After he made his will, he passed away. So he had 3 sons, this man. So the first son the eldest son inherit the house. So the second son inherit the field and the cow and everything. And the third one was given an axe and a glove only. So when the first son got his house, he was very happy, and he went to his house and become very proudful of it. Second one, he had his his cow and field. And the third one, he started to work with the axe and the gloves, and he started going his life. So after some times, the one who had the house become very proud of himself, and of course laziness start to build inside of him. So when he become lazy, everything start to get damaged, everything start to destroyed. The house start crumble, just like the owner itself. So the middle son, who had inherited the cow, of course when the cow start getting old, stop giving milk, he lose interest into that also. The field also start becoming wild. So the third one, because he had nothing really to sustain himself, he had to work. So he started working very hard. He built his own company. He started building houses with the axe. He started building bridges, buildings, and so on. And he became very good in what he was doing. So he have a beautiful house. He have fields, and he have everything that he wanted. So the other two started to get jealous of him, and they thought that gloves and that axe have some magic into it. So one day they stole the axe. So they stole the axe, thinking that something will happen miraculously, magically to them without any effort. So nothing was happening. Then they said, "Oh, maybe it don't work alone. We need to have the gloves also." So they went and steal the gloves also. So nothing happened. So the other one, the one who inherited the younger son, he didn't bother about them stealing it. Because he knew that it is not the gloves or the axe, it is his self-effort who have really transformed him. So he went and bought a new axe and a new gloves, and he carried on his life. So the other two, realizing that it is not that, it is his self-effort which he have put into his aim, that what have brought him to that. So it is the same thing with life itself, you see. When you give your effort into what you do, you see, even perceiving that whatever you do, it is with your ego, but yet you give your best to transform yourself. You give your best to let go of that ego, not concentrating upon that, not adventuring into what that mind is telling you to do. That transformation will awaken inside you. That effort which will awaken inside you, God will give you that strength to move forward into your life and achieve really the goal. That goal is to attain the grace of Srimad Narayana. So keep doing, even if you perceived that pride, ego, you are the worst egoistic person, it doesn't matter. Focus on your service. So focus on your service and keep remembering the name of God. This is the most important thing. Don't ever forget the name of God. Even if you have pride, even if you have ego, it doesn't matter. Keep remembering His name. So, Jai Gurudev.